Welcome to the GameRamble Steam Next Fest 2022 Roundup Part 2. My name is Dark Cloud and I'm joined by
Nimbio, Mrs. Cloud.
So in Part 1 we checked out some of my favorite demos, and now in the final stretch of Next Fest, Mrs. Cloud will be sharing her selection. And as mentioned in Part 1, it's impossible to go through all of the available demos, and narrowing down all the great titles to just 10 was not easy either. So that means there are plenty of other great demos that we have no doubt missed, so be sure to browse through Next Fest yourself and see what you can find. But in the meantime, here's Mrs. Cloud's Team Next Fest selection in no particular order.
Cool. Okay, first up is Against the Storm. It's developed by Aeromite Games and published by Hooded Horse. As you can see here, Against the Storm is a dark fantasy city builder set in a vibrant fantasy world tormented by everlasting rain. Players step into the role of the Scorched Queen's viceroy with instructions to set off into the wilds and establish new settlements. You have to keep the queen happy at all times. Players must also manage these settlements, which will be inhabited by humans, beavers, lizards and harpies. Unfortunately, the Blightstorm always returns, so the goal is to survive long enough to fulfill the Queen's demands before the rain destroys everything and the cycle starts again. The core city builder gameplay of Against the Storm is enhanced by roguelite replayability, and the game will feature hundreds of gameplay modifiers and 5 distinct biomes.
Okay. This constant raining is a bit depressing, but I like the whole fact that it's not just humans. It's going to be harpies and beavers and all kinds of lizards. Yeah. Wow.
Each of them has different strengths and weaknesses.
Okay, it's quite the mashup.
Yeah, and the goal is also to cut through the trees and get to some of those glades and discover what's going on there.
Okay. Yeah, I also like that it's got roguelike elements. Replayability is always a big plus in these types of games.
Yeah.
Keeps things unpredictable and exciting, I think. You can't just memorize where everything is and then go in and just do great.
Yeah.
Keep you on your toes at all times.
And as you can see at the bottom, there's a blue and a red meter. The red meter is how dissatisfied the queen is with you. So if you fill that up, you have a problem.
Oh dear, okay. Just another thing to balance when the odds are already stacked against you.
Yeah. Definitely. This game is set for release in October of 2022, so it's around the corner.
Nice. Looking forward to checking it out.
Okay, now we have Lazaret, developed and published by Agen Games. Lazaret is an atmospheric first-person horror game where players take on the role of a rescue team member called out to investigate a distress signal from a ship. This ship, the MTS Endurance, vanished 4 years ago on a voyage across the Atlantic. Unfortunately, the rescue operation quickly goes awry, leaving players stranded and alone on the derelict ship. It also appears that there are no signs of life on the ship, as instead of the crew, players only find eerie stone statues. Lazaret is played in first person, and players can expect light puzzle elements and an emphasis on atmosphere. However, danger lurks around every corner, and players must run or hide to stay alive.
I'm already getting claustrophobic just looking at these tight corridors. Oh, there's one of those statues you mentioned.
Yeah, I mean, imagine coming around the corner like that and seeing the statue.
I would be even more scared if I came around the corner again and the statue is gone.
Yeah, the game also comes with a motion sickness warning because the ship does move all the time.
Okay, that's why the screen is so tilted.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so it's and the creaking and there's doors slamming and chains.
Yeah, these corridors are so tight. I mean, where do you run and where do you hide? This looks like a maze.
It is a very creepy
game.
Getting
anxiety just looking at this.
Yeah, wow. Look at that.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Those don't look like statues.
It's very dead people.
Wow, okay.
It is extremely creepy, so I think it would be a lot of fun to check this one out. And there are cupboards and closets that you can hide in.
Okay.
But
do I even want to know what you're hiding from, though?
Yeah, that's a problem. I have no idea. The little bit I've been playing through this, I've just been hearing weird sounds and was already creeped out. But yeah.
Nice.
I hope we get to check this one out. It is releasing, well, we don't know when yet, it hasn't been announced.
Okay,
But I'm looking forward to it, so wishlisted.
Okay, definitely adding it to my wish list.
Now we have Asterigos, developed by Acme Game Studio and published by Tiny Build. Asterigos Curse of the Stars is an action RPG inspired by Greek and Roman mythologies. The protagonist is Hilda, a brave young warrior from the Northwind Legion. Hilda embarks on a journey to the cursed city of Aphes to save her lost father. Asterigos promises gameplay elements inspired by Soul-like games alongside a lighter, dynamic combat system. This will provide players with a fresh take on the modern action RPG genre as they battle more than 60 different enemies and encounter 22 bosses. Asterigos will also feature over 100 collectibles, numerous side quests, and a new Game Plus mode. It is set for release on the 11th of October, so in 2 days.
That is, right around the corner.
Yeah, it's a really good looking game.
Yeah.
And I love it. Action packed. There's like, the battles are cool.
Okay.
It's a lot of fun.
It's very bright and colourful for something in the Souls-like genre.
Yeah.
It's got a bit of a Monster Hunter vibe almost with these big creatures I see.
I was thinking exactly that when I saw this.
So the demo throws you straight into a boss battle, or is this just a normal enemy?
No, this is a boss.
Nice.
You get to slice some normal enemies first, but then...
Okay, straight into this giant alligator-looking thing.
Yeah.
Wow.
You get different powers and so on that you can use.
Okay.
As you can see at the bottom, you can use Z, K, C, and V.
Yeah, see Hilda looks quite nimble as well.
Yeah, she is. You have to use potions to keep your health up, obviously. The boss will come with like weird heavy attacks as well.
Okay.
So,
yeah, looks nice, action-packed. Definitely adding this one to my wish list.
yeah. The parts where the camera acted up a bit, but look at this attack.
Okay.
So you need to know how to dodge and...
Using water cannon there.
yeah.
Nice.
Next up is Forever Skies. This one is developed and published by Far From Home. Forever Skies is a first-person action survival game where players get to build and customize a high-tech airship. The setting is Earth, which was destroyed hundreds of years before by an ecological disaster. Players must use their airship as a home, workshop, laboratory, and more while trying to expand, rebuild, and repair it. Players can also build and operate different machines, discover new tools, and much more to increase their chances of survival.
Okay, so nice post-apocalyptic survival game. It's open world, you say?
Yeah.
That's nice.
It's got a interesting color palette, I think. And
yeah, looks like this ecological disaster, whatever it was very toxic for the planet.
Yeah. So, and I do enjoy my survival games, so I think this one
yes.
looks really cool to play.
Okay. Yeah, no, definitely. The more post-apocalyptic survival games, the better. Yeah, when is this one coming out?
It is in 2022 as an early access title, so they will keep developing it.
Okay, nice.
Looking forward to checking it out.
Yeah.
Now we have Spark in the Dark, developed and published by Stellar Fish. Spark in the Dark is an atmospheric dungeon crawler with a medieval dark fantasy setting. Players can choose from 5 different classes of heroes, each with unique skills, before they enter the depths of a grim ancient dungeon. The game will feature bloody battles with monstrous creatures and deadly traps, as well as a lot of interactions with the environment. Procedural generation also means that each time the players enter the dungeon, the monsters, equipment, loot, stats, and some level elements will be different.
Okay, so this looks a bit like Diablo meets Dark Souls.
Yeah, so you don't control your character the same way as in Diablo. This is more...
Yeah, this is direct control.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is actually one of the demos that I've also tried out, and I can say from my experience it's not an easy game.
No.
These enemies hit hard, they poison you, they are relentless, they knock your weapon and shield out of your hands.
Yeah.
It's like really a hardcore experience, but all the more fun for it, I think.
Very. I mean, you can stand in the lantern a little bit to heal up, but it is really not easy. When you're poisoned, your life drains very quickly. So
yeah, I think it's going to be very much a game where you need the right tool for the right monsters and really work on your blocking and evading and so on.
I tried using a crossbow there, but that didn't go too well. The reload on that was quite long. There I'm standing in the lantern.
Yeah, the animations and the blood splatter looks really good.
Yeah, very cool game.
Yeah, definitely one that I would also like to play.
No, I think you would enjoy it. There are some puzzles and stuff in there as well.
Okay, and it's going to be different every time you play it. That's also neat.
Yeah.
I like these dungeon crawlers, and if it's got replay value and a stiff challenge, it's going to be fun, I think.
I think so too.
And this one is coming out?
It hasn't been announced yet, so
okay.
We must
keep it on the wish list.
Yeah. Okay, now we have Earth from Another Sun, developed and published by Multiverse. Earth from Another Sun is an open-world galactic domination sandbox game where players can command massive armies to fight alongside them on planets and in space. In addition to a single-player mode, the game will also feature a galactic dominion conquest where up to 60 players can test their skills against others. The game promises an open-world galaxy filled with countless points of interest. The developers also promise that players can create and add new content to the open-world galaxy using their internal development tools they'll polish and package for public release at launch. Planned release date is in 2023.
Okay.
So this is
this one looks like it's got quite a lot to it.
Yeah.
Must say I wasn't expecting this when I saw that galactic map. I thought it was going to be a 4X type game.
Yeah, no,
this is full on first person.
Exactly, you're like in the galaxy and then you see enemy ships approaching and you can decide whether you want to attack them or flee. But you can also just go to planets and mine resources, or you can go to your ship and do things.
Okay.
It did feel like, while I was playing it, feel like quite an early release still. It's still a work in progress, and they keep saying that as well, but I think it has a lot of promise.
Yeah, especially if they're gonna release their internal tools as well for players. That means right off the bat, players are going to be able to customize and create content and expand the game. That's always nice.
Very cool. And as you can see there, it's not just first person. You can also command troops and tell them what to do, where to go.
So some RTS elements involved as well.
There was way too much to it for me to dive exactly into what you need to do.
Yeah, no, I can imagine.
I think this is going to be a game with a lot of depth to it.
Okay, nice. Looks like it could be a hidden gem. Definitely a cool pick.
Next up is Floodland, developed by Val Monarch and published by Ravenscourt. Floodland is a society survival game in a world destroyed by climate change. It will challenge players to explore, scavenge, and build a city to unite the clans. However, conflicting cultures and limited resources will mean that tough choices need to be made. Players will start with a lost bunch of survivors and must scavenge resources, rediscover technology, and maintain the peace between different factions while rebuilding society. Since the map, events, and makeup of the world are randomly generated, each playthrough of Floodland will be unique.
Okay, I'm definitely starting to see a pattern here with your Next Fest selections. There's lots of post-apocalyptic stuff, lots of survival elements.
I guess so. I just like the look of this game. I think it's also a little bit more laid back compared to some of the other action stuff.
Yeah.
But
I see you can pause and fast forward and play at your own pace. It's always cool in strategy games, gives you more time to really wrap your head around what to do next. You don't rush into things.
Yeah, exactly. I think I fast forwarded there just so you can see the changing of the day-night cycle.
Okay, and it's got that fog hiding unexplored areas. So you don't know what's lurking just behind your field of view.
Yeah, exactly.
It's quite a vibrant looking game.
I like it.
Not your typical post-apocalyptic wasteland from the looks of it.
No. have to also scavenge rubbish and stuff and recycle it.
Okay.
Use that as a bit of a currency. It is set for release on the 15th of November 2022, so it's
Okay,
really around
so
the corner.
close. And it looks like the world is divided into islands or something. I would assume based on the name Floodland.
Yeah.
Okay. That's going to be interesting. Nice.
Very cool. Now we have Potionomics, developed by Voracious Games and published by Exceed Games or Marvelous USA. Potionomics is a narrative-driven deck-building shop simulator starring a witch named Sylvia. The penniless witch finds herself thrust into the role of a potion proprietor after the untimely death of her uncle. Unfortunately, the shop comes with a huge debt, and players will have to help her keep it afloat to carry on her uncle's legacy. To do so, they will need to wheel and deal, choose the best ingredients to make potions, interact with fantastic friends and foes, and customize their shop's decor. And this is set to release on the 17th of October, so
Okay,
within a week.
another. Yeah. Must say, just looking at this, I really like the facial expressions of Sylvia here. She's very expressive.
Very. I think there's a lot of humor in this game, and it's going to be really cool
Yeah.
to.
So you're busy making a minor mana potion here. It's like literally dragging the ingredients into the container and mixing.
She has to keep it perfectly balanced.
Okay. Yeah, I must say I like these types of shop simulating games. It's like very micromanagement style, but yeah, it's a lot of fun to tweak things and customize things and do all of that.
Yeah, and then there's obviously also a little bit of time pressure to get the right products out for the right people. And
I'm assuming you're gonna have to turn a profit and keep the shop open.
yeah, exactly.
Really nice
I mean,
art
she
style.
starts out at a debt already, so
Yeah, you're working with everything stacked against you.
yeah.
Yeah, really neat. I like the look of this one.
Now we have Undecember, developed by Needs Games and published by Lion Games. Undecember is a hack and slash action RPG where players get to annihilate countless enemies at once. The game does not have defined classes, instead players can freely change around gears and skills based on their personal playstyle. Furthermore, since there are no gear or combination restrictions, players are free to cast magic with a sword or summon minions with a bow. In addition to the game's main scenario, Undecember will feature end-game content, cooperative content with up to 8 players, and more.
Okay.
And this one is set to release on the 12th of October, so now, this
Wow. A lot of stuff to look forward to this week already.
week. Yeah.
I must say they were not joking about this killing countless foes at once. You're really cutting a swath of destruction here through these enemies.
Yeah, the hack and slash, they start off with that right from the start in the demo, but then after a bit you can actually pick your character and start from scratch. There's like the new character with a little bit more puny attacks.
I see. Okay, so they give you a taste of power before they... Okay.
Exactly.
It's got that Diablo style look and feel to it, but it looks like you're going to be able to become way more powerful and destroy multiple enemies at once. I like the whole freeform aspect of it as well, where you're not locked into barbarian or mage or assassin or whatever. You just go wild and customize your character to your liking.
That's really cool. It did feel a lot like Diablo to me. But, yeah, a lot of fun with a lot of enemies.
Yeah, I can imagine.
So my last pick is Season, developed and published by Scavenger Studio. Season, A Letter to the Future, is a third-person atmospheric adventure bicycle road trip game. It sees players leave home for the first time to collect memories before a mysterious cataclysm washes everything away. Players will get to explore, record, meet people, and unravel the strange world around them. Using recording tools, players will be able to capture different layers such as sound and music, art and architecture, and the stories of characters living through pivotal moments. While embarking on this quest, players will be led to the big questions such as what is this season, why is it ending, and what will the next season bring. The release date for Season is listed as coming soon.
Wow, I really like the premise of this one. It's not your typical game setup. from the sounds of it.
No, you feel like a little bit of a tourist, but you also get to really delve deep into what's happened, the history of a place.
Yeah, it sounds like a game that really encourages you to explore your surroundings in way more depth and detail than others.
Yeah, exactly.
If you record everything.
Yeah, you have a camera to record things and a recorder to record sounds.
Okay.
Yeah.
Dragoners also doesn't look like your typical third-person action adventure hero.
No.
It's interesting surroundings, and do you actually ride around on a bicycle?
Yeah, I didn't get there yet in the demo. You start out in this little town
Okay.
where you
Dr.
get to explore
brought peace
everything.
to so many people here.
Yeah, I just love the whole idea of a road trip in the game.
Yeah.
Actually one that, like you said, makes you feel like a bit of a tourist and gives you a chance to explore.
Yeah, I do like the art style. It's really colourful and also interesting.
Yeah,
It's like
definitely has a unique style to it.
interesting things going on there.
Yeah. Nice.
Season.
Well, thanks for joining us for part 2 of the GameRamble Steam Next Fest Roundup for October 2022. Like I said, if you haven't done so yet, be sure to check out part 1 where you can see some of my selection, but I think you really picked a great selection here. I think I'm going to be pretty much adding all of them to my wish list. And I'm also quite chuffed that you picked ones that are just around the corner, so I won't have to wait too long to try them out either.
I think they're cool.
Yeah, thanks for joining us.
Thank you. Remember to like, subscribe, and share if you enjoy our videos.
Until next time.
Bye.